Part 2 of the Naude Pass covers the section from the 4th to the 12th kilometer and includes the summit area. The next 2 kilometers includes 5 hairpin bends and many other very sharp corners. The eastern side of the pass, as well as the Pot River descent, is particularly rough, and there are many sharp stones that in an ordinary vehicle could prove to be daunting. History books show that the Naude brothers did not complete the entire pass, but that the Cape government took over the final part, which was completed a few years later. There is no confirmation of exactly where this point is, but it is assumed that the Naude's completed the bulk of the western side. As is the case with most roads in the Eastern Cape, this pass is also subject to livestock on the road. At the 6.1 kilometer point, the final hairpin bend of the western ascent is reached, and the rest of the climb up to the true summit is a fairly easy drive from here onwards. This road provides very much off-the-beaten-track kind of driving. Even in a 4x4, the road presents something of a challenge, particularly in winter, when because of its height, snowfalls are quite common and make the roads very slippery. Add to this, it should be factored in that the roads are not in good shape, although there are those who advocate that in an ordinary car with high clearance you can manage the summit. When we first filmed this pass in October 2013, there had been heavy snowfalls the previous day. This pass is not for the faint-hearted, and even in full four-wheel drive our vehicles were sliding around on the muddy surfaces. With ice on the road, this would be a nightmare in a normal car. Besides watching for livestock on the road, one should also watch out for rockfalls, which are quite common on the hairpin bends, and in midwinter the water oozing out of the rocks along the cuttings freezes into solid ice. The distance from Rhodes to the western start is approximately 10 kilometers, but you'll need 1 hour including stops to complete the section to the summit. Drivers, as well as their passengers, should be prepared for emergencies, as traffic volumes during the week can be quite low and weather can be quite extreme. Pack a sleeping bag and warm clothes with spare emergency food during the colder months, and note that it can snow here as late as October. The pass is in a remote, underpopulated area. In the event of a breakdown, you might have to tough it out until help arrives. There is also no mobile reception on most of the pass. It's worth noting that the Tannerhead Lodge is approximately 5 kilometers from the eastern viewpoint should you have an emergency. This is the only place on the entire pass where you can get assistance. The lodge does have a heavy-duty tractor. Arriving at the summit point is something of an anticlimax, and unless you've put the waypoint into your GPS, you might not even notice it, as the mountaintop is large and flat with a few straggly fences on one side of the road and a jeep track disappearing off towards the right. This lock gate is right at the true summit, and it's the only indicator of that fact. The main view site several kilometers further to the east is where all the action takes place, and it is the reason why so many people incorrectly assume that that is the summit point. The altitude at the true summit is 2,590 meters. Once over the summit, the road enters a gentle S-bend, then begins descending at a fairly gentle gradient of around 1 in 25. The road now descends towards the northeast, as it follows a small ravine into the north. To the right, a small stream, which is one of many tributaries of the Bell River, gathers strength as distance is gained northwards. On these long gravel roads, it's always sensible to consider tire deflation. The benefits are greatly improved traction and a more comfortable ride. However, you should always remember never to exceed 80 kilometers per hour. A normal deflated pressure for gravel is around 1.4 bar, but if the corrugations and ruts are severe, pressures may be lowered right down to 1 bar. Remember to reinflate your tires as soon as you get back to tar. If you drive on tar with deflated tires, they can quickly overheat and may result in a blowout. Like the Jabez Pass, the Naude Pass is also a testament to the character and determination of these enterprising farmers who built an outstanding mountain pass on a paltry budget using very basic equipment. Be sure to watch parts 3 through to 6 on this iconic gravel pass.